Hi everyone, Dr. Tracy here. Today we're talking about how the best ways that I believe to start out your career as a therapist. I actually, and everything that I tell you in any of these videos is from my own experience, what I've seen personally and professionally, and what has really worked for me. So there's no, the great thing about this field is there's kind of not a right way. Sometimes there is a wrong way, but there's a lot of different right ways, and you have to figure out what works best for you. So remember, I'm just giving you the advice that I've seen that works for me, and with the people that I know. But certainly you have to make these decisions for yourself. So I was saying in a previous video about when you're first starting your career, if you could even before you're applying for your doctoral program, even when you're in undergraduate, it would be great to just get a job in the field, or even like volunteer work in a mental health organization. Anything you can do, because now these grad school programs are so incredibly competitive, and they're really looking for somebody, I think, that has that extra edge, because it's not just about your grades or what you made on the scoring wise and things like that. It's a lot more than that. And experience is everything. So get a low level, entry level position at a mental health facility, like a behavioral health tech, a recreational a counselor tech, or something like that. I think they call it an RT, recreational therapist, something like that. But like just an entry level position, and just to be around it, even if that isn't the direct work, you're at least around these mental health people with these mental health disorders, and to be able to see it, because that's the key. You want to see it. It's one thing to read it in the book, and go through the DSM, and look at like the requirements. And if you don't know what the DSM is, that is basically our diagnostic Bible. So look it up, and make sure you know what that is. I would even get one and be familiar with some basic diagnostic criteria. We'll talk about that in another episode too. But start being around it, because you kind of it's very wild, because you start to like see what you've read and studied for so long like come to life right in front of your eyes, which is really great and really exciting. So and it gives you a better, it's going to make you so much better in just diagnostics, and being able to even differentiate if somebody is feigning or malingering. And we'll go over that terminology in another episode too, if you're not familiar with those. But it definitely gives you that edge. And then once you're able to actually, once you are either a postdoc, intern, a postdoctoral residency, or once you are licensed, I do not recommend going into private practice. I don't believe that this gives you what you need to really have the ins and outs and be just very skillful and talented. And again, this is just my opinion. So, but I highly recommend like getting into the depths, the thick of it, and get like an inpatient mental health facility where you're dealing with suicidality, very severe mental illness, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. You need to see and work with, mania and cutting and suicidal ideation and attempts, suicide risk assessments, being able to participate in, being able to work with a team, a treatment team, and work with a case manager and the psychiatrist and, other psychologists, and things like that, because you are going to learn so much. You're going to be so well-rounded, and you'll just soak it in. It's just kind of like that trial by fire, just like jump into the deep end and get your hands dirty and just kind of go to the worst of the worst. And I'm telling you, it will, after a year, you're just gonna know it, where you could just look at somebody off the street and kind of be like, oh yeah, that's whatever maybe the diagnosis is. And of course, let me add, we never diagnose without actually meeting with the person one-on-one and or personally, and doing a formal evaluation. Gotta say that. But hopefully you understand what I mean. It's just going to be instinctual, it's going to be natural. And even one of the biggest tools to skills that you'll learn is boundaries, and to not be afraid, right? Those are two huge skills that you will use for the rest of your career. So boundaries, obviously, when you have maybe potentially very even violent patients, or maybe not to that extent, even just aggressive, or one, you have to know how to protect yourself physically. You have to be skilled to de-escalate situations, how to talk to people, the mannerisms, things like that. Very valuable. And then you also don't want to kind of like flinch when people bring up really scary or bad things. You don't want to kind of freak out and flinch if somebody says that they want to kill themselves, or that they're, that they just cut, or that they even want to kill somebody else, or maybe they tell you something really awful that they've experienced. You're gonna hear everything, and after a couple years, it's pretty much going to be where nothing you hear shocks you, and that's what you want, because you don't want to have a visceral reaction. You want to kind of have that reaction to continue to create a safe place for them. And again, we will talk about that. I'll go into that in another episode more deeply. But you want to be able to kind of have that. You don't have to have that blank face where there's no reaction, because I personally don't think that that's genuine. You can have a reaction and validate them and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I just can't imagine, that sounds so scary, that sounds so awful, right? But you don't want to have the emotion attached to it. So you want to be empathetic but not sympathetic. Right. The other thing that working at a very extreme kind of intense place like that is boundaries. You're going to learn boundaries very quick, and you're going to learn how to be very good and natural at boundaries very quickly. And again, this is a skill you'll use throughout your entire career. And actually, I think this is a hard skill to learn. But when you do work at a very intense place, you have no other option but to have boundaries. Like I've worked at a prison. I mean, I was not able to self-disclose at all. You cannot share any information at all, whether you're married, whether you have children, whether you have, it's very extreme and intense. Sorry if you hear the dogs back there. So, it's one of those things, and I think it's great, because it's easier to have those strict boundaries from the beginning and then be able to relax them later. That's much easier to do. And because we can't really share, because it could be dangerous for us potentially. So again, if at all possible, if the options are there, jump into it fully and try to kind of get the most intense job in the beginning, and then as you gain experience, lighten up and make things a little bit more easier on yourself, and eventually, to me, like, the end goal is kind of private practice. And so anyway, hope this helps. and feel free to add any additional ideas or comments, share your experiences, ask questions. I'll even, oh, another one of our little therapy dogs. This is Spirit. Hi, Spirit. Good boy. So again, I love to hear from you guys. We're working together on this. All right, bye.